This is a Wild Games Production podcast.
Welcome to the Evil DM podcast. I am DM Vince, the Podfather of the OSR podcast, as I've been dubbed lately. Sitting with me today is an old friend of mine, a podcasting colleague of mine, Big Sal from the RFI days. Sal, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Podfather? I love that whole Podfather thing. That's tremendous.
Yeah, that came from Tankar. He dubbed me that so long ago. He gave me that name. He was calling me the father of this and that. I'm like, you give me more credit. He's like, no, if it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be so many OSR podcasts. So, we give you credit where credit's due.
So. And whenever I've told people about you or the podcast, I've brought you up on more than one occasion. People ask me, they're like, "Oh, you ever done podcasts before?" I'm like, "Yeah, a couple." And then I'm like, there's a guy. I'm like, Vince, he's been doing podcasts literally for years before anybody else was. He had this format, he had this soul set up, and he was doing his shit before anybody else was. So it was kind of, I don't disagree with Tankar on that. I think that's accurate, 100%.
Yeah, I was just on his show on Sunday. He had me guest star on his show. As the people who have already heard this, heard that, will hear this, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's in the future.
Ooh, yeah. On his fireside chat, he was talking about this, and, it went pretty well. I mean, he wants to do a thing once a month or something with me, just so we can get back into the podcasting rapport or something like that. He says multiple people had missed me in the podcasting sphere, which I don't know. I guess, sure. If they miss me, thank you.
Yeah, I never believe when people tell me they miss me. They're like, "Oh, we missed you." I'm like, "You're lying."
Yeah, but you had all that fame on TV, buddy. So.
Oh yeah, tons, huge fame. Yeah.
All that TNN fame.
Oh, good Lord.
Hey, you were on Madison Square Garden Network, weren't you, at one point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you got that too behind you. Because TNN brought in them ratings for ECW. So.
There would be no ECW without TNN.
That's right. Those of you who don't know or are not familiar, Sal was part of a wrestling organization called ECW. Some people don't know that and haven't put that together, that you were Big Sal. So.
Oh, well, no loss there. We're fine. We're good.
So what have you been doing, man? I haven't heard from you in a while. I mean, we text back and forth every once in a while in spurts, talk about gaming and stuff like that. But what really?
Yeah.
Let's pull back that kimono, as you always say. Tell me what you've been doing, buddy.
I still say that.
I say that too all the time. Ever since you stepped on that one show.
So basically, I've been doing the Conspiracy Horseman show. We do the podcast every Wednesday. We do the live chat. And then I think, it's all of that's on the Hameen Media Network.
Well, for those that are not familiar, what is exactly that, the Conspiracy Horseman podcast?
So basically it's me, Ben Hameen, Stevie Richards, and Greek God Papadon. We're four guys who we've been friends for a while, and we just never knew. We were all kind of into conspiracy theories and along those lines, UFOs, things like that. We were always the ones in the locker room who kind of, people were like, okay, whatever. And we all just kind of sat quiet in the corner. And we all found each other really kind of by accident. But we have been doing the show now. It's been going on 3 years now. It's been crazy that it's been going on that long, because honestly, it's, we've all known each other, and actually, it's funny. Me and Papadon, we grew up in the same town in Queens. Like, he went to the same elementary school as me, and it's totally weird.
Just years apart.
Yeah, actually, it's only a couple of years apart. I think he was in class with my little brother.
Wow.
So, so anyway, we've been doing the show, and it's gotten pretty good. Ben Hameen. Literally probably one of the most brilliant writers. He used to write for OVW. He was creative on there. He was, he worked on the show for OVW and Derby City Wrestling. The guy is honestly a friggin' genius. And I really he's one of the people, but he put us all together. He got us all together, and we came together and started doing the show. We've had all kinds of people on the show. We've delved into everything. We've done 9/11, UFOs, everything, just absolutely everything. And now with the state of affairs as it is now, it's just no shortage of stories to talk about and things to discuss. And we just basically want people to think for themselves. Don't just be told. Don't even take our word for it. If I tell you, okay, Vince, this is wrong. This didn't happen. This didn't happen this way. I don't want you to go, oh, cool. Well, Sal said so. We want you to look it up and be like, well, if he's full of shit, I'm full of shit. You look it up. I want you to check it out. We want you to wake up and kind of smarten yourself up, and don't listen to anybody. Don't take that for granted that everybody's telling you the truth.
So you want to red pill everybody?
Right. Yeah, we do. We kind of do want to red pill everybody. And it's sometimes like when we will bring something to the table, one of the other guys didn't know it, and you kind of get that wake up moment where you're like, oh shit, wow. So it's been cool. I've learned a lot of stuff too. On top of that, so also in the Mean Media Network, I do the Horror Junkyard, which is me and my friend Chuck and our friend Kat. We just basically we watch garbage movies. We watch awful horror movies, and then we review them. Most of the time we're getting together.
So you like Svengoolie type thing, or
not even that creative, to be fair. We're not even that good.
Okay.
Most of us, we sit around, we have a couple of drinks, and we talk about these shit movies we were forced to watch. We are building the show up. We're trying to kind of expand ourselves, what we're doing. And I really wanted to get back into horror.
Yeah.
Because I was very into horror back in the day, and I really wanted to get back in. And as you know, when we always used to talk, I always tried to inject horror in my gaming.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Big time.
So now I have gone and started getting into more horror games. I want to start looking, and what I wanted to do was start exposing some of these games that people may not know about, but I think would enjoy. So everybody knows Call of Cthulhu. If you're a gamer, you know Call of Cthulhu. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
If you're a gamer, you know Call of Cthulhu. You know those, the same games, Chill, Cult, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So, but there is a whole, my God, there's a huge collective of horror games. Some hit, some miss, and here's the thing. I know some people are like, well, if I don't like it, I'm not going to talk about it. I give everything the shot. I give everything the chance of, hey, I'm going to put this out there. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you I don't like it, but I'm going to tell you why. And I'm not just there to crap on it. I'm there because I want people to see it. I want people to try it for you. Again, try it for yourself. I might not like it. Maybe you might. So that is the new branch we're kind of edging out in Horror Junkyard. We talk about the movies, but then I also do cover every now and then, especially if something strikes me pretty, I really get excited about something. Like the latest thing was Vaesen. It's a Nordic horror game, and I was like, oh man, I got to check this out. And the artwork is of course beautiful, and I'm a sucker for artwork. Even if the game stinks, and the artwork's great, I'm usually like, oh, I'm gonna get it.
I know.
So,
I've seen you show me like, oh, this is great. I picked it up. Then 10 minutes later, dude, the game fucking sucks.
This game blows, but the artwork's awesome.
It's so funny. You just text me these pictures, dude. I got this. Look, this is awesome. And whatever, minutes later, I read it. It sucks, but at least I could use it for inspiration.
Yeah, completely. And that's pretty much what I use games for now. I am 46 now, so I am an old fart, and I don't have time to want to learn new games and be like, oh, I'm going to change my whole game. I love the games I love. I love Swords and Wizardry. I love my Labyrinth Lord. I love the my D20 games. I love my old school games. And I don't want to learn anything new, but I will if it's good. If you're cool, and you strike me as interesting or something really amazing, then I'll great, I'm down for it. But I'm not just going to start learning games now at this point just to learn them because, come on, man, like who has time to do it?
And plus, half the time, if you learn a new game, no one's going to want to play it, or
right. That's like, the other thing.
That sounds dumb. I don't want to play it. And you just wasted like a week reading a book that you're not even going to use.
Well, that's you were right there with me, man. We all had the groups who were like, I want to play the same game over and over. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, we were all there. We all had that. So yeah, the basically now what is I'm just getting into the horror games again, and that's also covering video games as well. My friend Chuck, he's currently, we do that on Twitch on Wednesdays right after our Horseman. We jump over and we just play different horror games. He's on Resident Evil 2. And I'll probably go through the series, but we find other games, games like Carrion, games like Vampire, just cool stuff. Just also we try to stay off mainstream.
I got a game for you. Every once in a while, I like going on to, what is that, Itch.io, whatever that website.
Oh, yeah.
Where the indie game was. There's an indie game I found on there that is called, where the heck is it? It's called the Puppet Master game. It's based on the Puppet Master movies. And I'm like, ooh, Sal would love this. Oh,
absolutely. That's friggin', I used to love Puppet Master, man.
Either you play the puppets or you play the guy hunting out the puppets.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Yeah.
Kulan?
Yep. So you'll have fun with that. It's a free game. It's like a half a gig download, and
oh, definitely. Oh man, that's so cool. Yeah. So and the last game I was playing was Dead by Dawn or Dead by Daylight, where you play the serial killers or the hunter.
Yeah. I used to play that. I was Michael Myers for a while. I was Freddy for a while.
Yep. Yeah. I've been playing. I've been playing that, and I'm kind of like falling out of love with it because it's kind of limited.
It's repetitive.
Yeah, and it's you're like, okay, cool, I want to do this, and then you're like, all right.
That's what happened with me with Friday the 13th when I was 13th.
Yeah, dude, I was playing that every day.
I hated playing Jason. I liked playing the counselors.
Yeah, it was so cool. Just like, oh, this is gonna be awesome, and then playing Jason, you're like,
what ruined me for that game was playing Jason, and I'm going after the counselors, and I have to run around a table 14 times to catch somebody.
Yes, because they know how to power game.
Yeah, I'm like, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. I was just kind of like, this isn't even fun anymore because again, I'm a Jason freak. I love it, and just so upset with that the game didn't have longevity for me. And I think that's what we're always searching. That's always what we've been looking for. The game that's going to last forever. And it will keep my attention forever. And I don't know if that exists, but I'm going to keep trying. Keep looking for that albatross.
Video games, no. But I mean, role-playing games, I don't know. D&D is the only thing that's really captured. Maybe some Palladium games. Like, I know the rules in Palladium games are a mess.
Right.
And you admit that too. They're a mess, but
yeah, absolutely.
There's something about going back to it after a while of not playing it and opening that book and looking at these rules going, I could really do something with this if I just chop this out. And this would be a really cool adventure here if I use these robots with these type of lizard guys,
Yeah. Or, just to when you get that right click of just everything you wanted in that game and you're like, okay, so if I've taken all of this and I've chopped it, and you feel so accomplished when you've built what you feel is like the perfect set of rules for Palladium.
Yeah,
because it's not you can't. It's not one of those play out the box games.
Oh, absolutely not. I don't care. Kevin himself probably knows that. So
yeah, it's definitely one of those. Just okay. Well, we'll play it and we'll see what happens.
What I'm really tired of is the constant, well, how do I level up question. It's just like, come on, dude. There's more than just leveling up. There's playing the game, having fun with it. Every time I approach a game, I have to think about it with my group. And not everybody in my group is like that. Like one of my players, Jeff, he's really cool. He's just like, yeah, I'll play that game. Sure, I'll try that game. Yeah, I'll get into that game. And he sits there and he makes up a character with me and he'll get into these backstories, character gamers that you obviously would like too.
Yeah.
And he's cool about it. And then I have some other players that are just like, yeah, okay, I'll make up my character, and they get into it, and then they're just like, well, how do I level up? It's like, there's no leveling up. What do you mean there's no leveling up? This is not D&D.
Yeah.
Oh.
How do I get better?
That was my Marvel game for like over a year and a half, was how do I level up? How do I get better? You do realize in comic books, the characters never get new powers and stuff. Well, this isn't a comic book. We're playing a comic book game.
But it's based on comic book characters, you asshole.
So that's what I had to go through the whole time. And so any game I play now, I have to figure out, is there a leveling system in it before I even bring it to the group?
Yeah, no, I get it, man. And I have the same thing. I have, my guy Chuck, my producer and everything. He's the guy, if I'm like, dude, we got to try this. And he's the guy who we can go to, and he'll be like, okay, cool, I want to do this. Let me. Oh, you know what sounds like a cool idea for a character? And then he's like, can we do this?
Yeah.
And then that's, you know what I mean? Like, he'd rather try this first before he even knows the game system. He just has an idea. And like, those are the players that you want. Those are the players you just want to have, that they don't give a fuck what the system is. And they're just like, I'm down. Let's do this. And you're like, all right, cool. So I guess it's something that maybe we're always looking for, something along those lines of like the perfect player and the perfect game sort of thing.
It's not easy.
So
to find.
No, it never is. And then finding them both at the same time is almost damn near impossible.
Yeah, it's kind of why I have 4 or 5 shelves worth of games, because you're constantly searching and got all these things. And like, I have an entire shelf of the original old or classic World of Darkness that I probably haven't touched since early 2000s, and it just sits there right on my shelf. And I nobody wants to play that anymore. They all want to play like the new Machine God version of World of Darkness with all the fancy rules.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, now it just came out now, right? Brand new game.
Yeah, exactly. Or like when I go play outside my group, everyone's like, oh, what are we playing? I'm like, oh, why don't we play, I don't know, look, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I see that across the room. I have those games. They're like, no, let's play D&D 5e. It's like,
well, you'll be proud of me. I joined a Pathfinder group, right?
Right.
People I don't know.
This interview is over. No, okay.
Well, that's the thing. I decided I wanted to play, and nobody else but me runs. So, somebody through online people were kind of like, oh, hey, there's a group right by you that, they play Pathfinder. And I'm like, ugh.
Is it 2 or regular?
It's regular.
Oh, okay. At least that's better.
And I went, oh, okay. So I tried it, and they're a nice group of people. I do like them. We've had some fun, and they play. But it's funny, like, how we play, how I play. See, I say we because you kind of had the same thing I did. We kind of ran things the same way.
Yeah.
If it says, okay, it says this in the book. Oh, it says 3 in the book. I gave him 5. Or it says 4 in the book. I gave him 2. No, I always changed it up. I fixed something. I tweaked something. Did something somewhere else. The guy who runs this, first of all, he's got. I was so impressed with this. He's got an entire notebook full of bullet points.
Yeah.
And then everything else can be. It's basically here's your crossroad you're at. You have multiple ways that the players can go. He's literally almost prepared for almost anything. And he's just got it all written out. And I was just impressed with it. But he also did use like creature ratings and stuff, or difficulty ratings. And I was like, oh, I never used those before. So, I never scaled my game, more or less.
They made that up in 3E to help new players get acquainted with the game, but then it started becoming a crutch for every GM with,
right.
Well, the rules say that my character can't, face more than a CE2 at this level. It's like, dude,
right.
It was just a guideline.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things. And when he said, he had mentioned it, and I said, dude, who cares? Blow it off. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah, man, who cares? I'm like, who cares what the rating is? I'm like, fuck it, just make us fight 3 of them. If we're smart, we leave if we can't handle it. I'm like, just I don't, no big. And he was kind of like, oh, okay, like, and I just forget that not everybody thinks the way I do, or, So again, it's one of those. You find a good group of people, and you find a good game, you find a good group of people, and again, honestly, I know most of the rules for the Pathfinder game for the especially first edition, but like the people are nice, they're good people, and they're fun, they're not crybabies, they're not rules lawyers.
Pathfinder is a beautiful game. Like, it looks beautiful, especially the first edition. It looks beautiful. They have some great evil supplements for demons and things like that, and some great monsters. And they put a lot of work into building the game up from what WotC left in the dust because they felt it wasn't a good game anymore. The problem that came in with Pathfinder is that once you get past the core books and start adding things in it, it starts becoming a pain in the ass and a headache to keep up with stuff. Because then you got to remember this book and that book and this rule and that rule. But wait, no, it's in this book. No, it's in that book. And that's where the headache started coming in for me. I couldn't take that anymore. Yeah,
that's well, again, now I haven't used any of the books except for the core rule book. That's what I've been using, and haven't needed anything else. I'm not running the game. I was like, I don't care. I just do not care, man. So it's been kind of cool to just play the game. And again, I'm not trying to trigger you, but we even we recorded last night for the Horseman, and we got to the complete apocalypse of 5e with erasing negative stats on all races.
Ugh. You know what,
Sal? I just went.
I'm throwing down an X card right now.
Oh, and it's funny, dude. When people still bring that up, they'll talk about it, and it's funny. No, but here's the thing. Even in this Pathfinder group, there's a few people who are that they would go along with that. Like that's their thoughts. So, that's how they feel. Okay, that's fine. But even now, they kind of are like, that's such a dumb idea. Just talk to somebody. Like it seemed when we talked about it, it was so polarizing and so like, oh my god, I can't believe those guys are saying it. They're so mean. They're so toxic.
You're referring to our 5e podcast that we had with, I don't even remember the fucking name of that show. That's how much I erased it from my mind. It was me, you, Melanie, and Kat. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
I don't even remember the name. I really don't.
It's probably better. It's for the better.
And we brought up that X cards thing. I think she brought it into the mix, and she thought,
because somebody is selling it. Somebody actually sold it. They were selling it as a product, and I said, "This is the worst thing ever."
Yeah, and I remember we ranted on it for a good half hour, and that's when
basically
we were toxic.
Yeah, just come on, man. Just have a conversation with the people at your table. That's all. Yep. But even that now, that's the caveat to everything. Even on craft, I watch craft videos on YouTube or something, and they're like, "Oh, well, if you do this, have a conversation with your players." I'm like, "Oh, go fuck yourself." No, hey guys, let me ask you a question. Is anybody going to get triggered if I make a 6-headed clown-faced spider? No, go fuck yourself. I'm going to pile it on the table, and if somebody freaks out, I'll be like, "Cool, it worked."
Yeah, I don't bring the no-nos in obviously any game group with your friends, regardless of how well you know them, is no politics and no religion and nothing too sexual. Depending on your group, you can get away with, sometimes you can get away with it with your close friends. And is that bad? Yeah. So what? Sometimes you just want to blow off steam and have fun. And you don't need to worry about these things. And the only time I think X cards work is in a public setting. Like if I'm going to the comic book store.
That's the only time it should ever be used.
A convention, and I'm popping down, a 6-headed dildo dragon or something like that. And
big stick monster.
And that's offensive to somebody. He throws an X card down. Yeah, okay. No questions asked. Done.
Right. But here's the other caveat to that. And again, horrible, I'm awful and terrible. If you're going to play Shadowrun and now you're triggered because there's a gunfight and you saw a gunfight when you were 6.
It's just dumb.
Go fuck yourself, please. Please go fuck yourself. Get out of my game. Go away.
Yeah, just don't sit at the table. If you know going into Shadowrun there's gonna be guns, don't, and you're triggered by that. Don't
Shadowrun. The game is Shadowrun. The whole game, it's like that's what I mean. And look, we're all. I have never in my life, in my career of DMing or playing, I have never, ever trigger. Okay, wait. I'm going to redact that statement real quick. One person I did play with, I accidentally triggered her by accident. She had a drowning incident, and I never knew.
Yeah. And
she nearly drowned, and I brought up a drowning thing in game, and she got a little freaked. And I said, okay, so we stopped the game. We talked to her. She was fine. But aside from that,
I don't understand.
Right.
Sal, I don't understand that. When I was a 10-year-old kid, and when my parents dragged me to Florida when I was a kid and I didn't want to go, I was in a pool as a kid and got almost drowned and died from a little fucking kid trying to drown me. And I've, had problems going into a pool almost all my life since that situation. Yeah, mental problems. Got it.
Yep.
But if you ran a game and my character was drowning, I'd be like, oh, damn. I drowned.
Well, no, and that's the thing. She didn't make a big deal about it. She got a little claustrophobic. She felt a little weird, so she took a break. And we talked. I said, "Are you okay?" Because it was just out of nowhere. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then we talked, and she told me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And she goes, "No, it's not your fault. You didn't know." Okay, great. But that was her deal. She told me, and it was taken care of, and we moved on. We didn't have to skip it. We didn't have to go, well, that didn't happen. Like, it just. No, we all took a sec. We all took a beat. Okay, great. But we're all friends. We're going to play this game now. Yeah, but that's the thing. So you can do that to turn around and be with friends and somebody go, oh, I don't like talking about that X card. And the DM can't ask any questions. He just has to move on. No, I'm sorry. That's I don't know. I don't agree with that. And I understand people, it's sensitivity or whatever. Sure. I'm all for sensitive. I don't ever want to hurt anybody's feelings that don't deserve it. But just honestly, I'm playing with my friends. We're never going to have that. We're never going to have that issue.
Yeah, you never know, because I triggered obviously someone in my group that used to podcast with us. And I had no idea, honestly, that was going to happen. I mean, I was running a game, and I had one of those tree vine. What are not a roper, but it was one of those trees with vines. I can't think of the name. I guess a tree.
Was a strangler vine? Right?
Yeah, a strangler vine. And one of the guys, went to reference the Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Right.
And he just joked. He's like, "Oh no, maybe it's an Evil Dead tree." And then that person got so triggered. Because she obviously went through that situation, which I had no idea, honestly, at that point.
She was fucked by a tree?
Yeah, apparently she was fucked by a tree. I had no idea. No. She was...
Well, honestly, I can't see anything else wanting to.
But, dear God. And, she got triggered by that, and that shut the entire game down. I saw this, and I immediately just moved on. I said, well, no, we're not going to talk about that. Okay, so, the situation moved on.
We're not doing that, guys. Right.
Yeah, I basically just did, okay, well, the vines go away, and then this monster pops out. So I kind of changed it mid-monster.
Right.
But it became a whole big thing, and I didn't know about it. I spoke to her afterwards, and she was like, no. I'm like, I didn't know. I apologize. But how am I supposed to know that? I mean, I can't read your mind. And yeah, it's not your business to tell me either, but you shouldn't get so upset when something like that happens. And
especially because it didn't happen. Number one, it didn't happen to her, and nothing happened. There was a reference to a movie. So please go fuck yourself. Politely go fuck yourself.
Anyway, God damn. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, so yeah, back to your horseman.
So, again, back to so like I said, that's what we're doing right now. I'm just
5e,
we're playing 5e. Yeah, no, but that's what we were talking about. We're talking about how the pasteurization and pretty much the destruction of 5e, because it's the people who are, people aren't going to just, the people who are going to play this and make this their game. All right, cool. You guys are cool. Have your game. Play. I don't care. It's not affecting me because I'm not playing it. I'm playing something else. It's just sad to watch the burning, and watching the building burn. The building's been there for so long. Oh, it's a shame. Oh, look at the restaurant burn. I never really ate there too much lately, but it's not. That's a shame to see it go.
Oh, such a bad thing going on. I saw when they released that, and I'm like, give me a break. Well, whatever. They want to play the game that way. Let them play the game that way. Because I'm not playing.
I brought this up actually. I was talking about this. Do you remember me and you when we got into a discussion when we saw the drow? How when they first came out and they said the drow can change their sex.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I went,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. That's a cool idea. I get it, and I know why they're doing it, which pisses me off. They're doing it to pander, but I liked it because you know what? It's original. It was a cool idea. Do that.
Well, I mean,
and I remember
it's apparently been there all along since second edition. It just hasn't been emphasized at all.
Used and emphasized, right?
Yeah.
So, but it was now for 5e. This was a cool thing. This was great. Now the carry, everybody knew about this. This was a new thing. It was innovation. And it's like, okay. And I remember us talking about people were losing their minds, and I'm like, I don't understand why they're bitching about it because it's nothing. It's not taking away from the game. It's actually adding a little extra to the game. Great.
And so, if you didn't want to use it, you just ignored it.
You didn't. Exactly. And I remember that all happening. And now I look at what they do and with everything, and everything is pandering. Everything is just to quiet the people who aren't buying the books anyway.
Well, I mean, they probably, they aren't buying the books because they're pirating the books.
Right.
Guarantee almost all those people that bitch and complain probably have the core book, the monster manual, and the DM's guide, and everything else they probably have on PDF. They got it online.
Well, I'm sure, 100%. But that's the thing. So, my cousin, her daughter wanted to play D&D. She wanted to do 5e because her friends are playing it.
Yeah, of course.
And I told my cousin, I was like, yeah, cool. Go for it. Just get her the core book. That's all she needs. Like, she doesn't need anything else. Get her the core book. So she got her the core book. She got her some dice. She went and got this whole starter set, not the actual starter set. She went and got her the book and a separate, and dice in a bag and a whole 9 yards. She bought all the little accoutrements.
Yeah.
Because and she wound up now the kid's playing with she's running games. She's got everything on PDF.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she still has the core book.
Yeah.
The core book and Dice Tower and Dice and everything else is PDF.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That made me happy. I was glad. I was like, you know what? Good for you. You're running the game. You're enjoying it. You're having a great time. She doesn't use half the rules because the kid is smart enough. She took it and she ran it and made it her own game.
Yeah.
So now she plays with this. She plays with an all-girl group, and they're all 14 or whatever. And it's like, good. You know what? Good for you, man. Go run with this friggin' game. Don't be bogged down by what you have to do. What everybody else is telling you have to do. And that's the thing. I just hope people keep that in mind when you're gaming. Just don't get cemented into what these other idiots are telling you. Just play your own game the way you're having fun with it. And that's what we're doing too. Like I said, we want to try different games. We want to go to different places. The games like Othership and what's the other one I have? Mork Bork, which is friggin' awesome.
Oh yeah, you keep showing me things for that, and it looks really good.
It's so friggin' good, yeah, man. It's awesome. So all these games, just play what makes you happy, have fun, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to expose and get the word out on different games. We want people to see horror gaming as more than just Call of Cthulhu. It's because, don't get me wrong, I'm a Cthulhu addict. I love Call of Cthulhu. I love the mythos. I love everything about it, man. Tentacles and the void and everything else. I'm down. But there's more to horror gaming than Call of Cthulhu. So we want to get people out there who even, and there's been a lot of people from the Horseman chat that they ask, they know I'm a D&D nerd, and they're like, oh, what about this? And I'm like, yeah, you check it out. And everybody says the same damn thing. That's something I always wanted to check out, but nobody played in my area.
Yeah.
Or that's something I always wanted to check out, but I was always kind of afraid to do it. I'm like, it's not like it's meth. Like, just fucking go. I don't know. Just go do it. Like, I don't. I don't know. I guess it was always a thing. socially, it was a little bit of a stigma. Like to just
80s and 90s. Now, it was, yeah.
Right. And now it's, you got to be all inclusive. Well, here's the fun part. It wasn't all inclusive because we were doing it by ourselves before we were included in anybody else's shit. So, yeah, now it's got to be all inclusive. And even if you don't like the game, you get to be included. So we'll change it for whatever you want. Turd.
Well, yeah, I don't, it's my house. I play at my house. Well, not right now because of COVID, but, it's my house and my rules, and it's my house. So if I don't want you at my house, you ain't coming to my house, regardless of who you are. You could be Johnny Go Lately. I don't care. You could be the celebrity in the world. I don't care. It's my house.
I get you.
I'm not going to invite someone just because I'm told in a book I have to invite you to my table. If we're cool and we're friends and everything like that, and I trust you, yeah. If it's at a public place, every chair is open to whomever wants to sit there because it's a public place.
Exactly.
And I can't say you can't play unless you're a complete utter dick and you get kicked out of the store like one guy did. So,
like I said, man, 30 years I've run the game, 25, however long I've run the game, and I've never had an issue, never had a problem with anybody coming to my table, never had a problem with anybody playing with me, any of that crap. And now, and again, since being off Facebook and not being exposed to all this drama every day, even like I do MeWe now and then, and I look at just for gaming only, and I even have other kayfabe stuff that I just do gaming only, and even that it just gets choked full of drama and politics, and I hated it, so I just stopped. I stopped doing it. So now I'll go online and I will nitpick. I will cherry pick all the specific things I want to look at. I said, let's see what's going on.
Very triggering, Sal. You're such a gatekeeper.
You know what? Yes, I embrace that. I embrace the fuck out of that because I am a gatekeeper. I want my gate nice and strong to make sure that my game is fun, and any of you non-fun fucks, I don't let you in. So yes, I'm a gatekeeper. Got a giant axe, and I'm waiting for you to come through my gate so I can cut your fucking hands off and shove them up your ass.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I basically, after my entire Facebook account got hacked because of somebody who didn't.
I remember that.
Because somebody didn't like me, apparently. What a surprise there, right?
Shock.
And the person went into my account and deleted all my pages that were involving WGP and all the Mazes in Peril stuff and all the little groups that I was part of. Tried to delete all that stuff. And Facebook was just like, whoa, this is unusual. So boom, it locked the account, sent me an email saying, we've detected suspicious activity. Your account logged in from this IP address and this state and did the following. And I'm like, what? California? So I basically had to talk to them, and my account was suspended for like 2 weeks while they sorted everything out. Yeah, I had to basically prove to them that it wasn't me doing that. I'm like, why would I delete all my pages suddenly?
From California.
I was like, here's my house in Texas. Here's my local IP. And why would I be from California? And they're like, well, yeah, okay. And then they're like, well, we'll reinstate your account, but with the following conditions. 1, change your password. Duh, that's obvious. And 2, we're emptying out your entire friends list to have you start over your account, or you can delete it.
Terrific.
So I basically just restarted the account. I have 37 friends on Facebook, and it's the most glorious thing ever.
I was gonna say you're probably better off. You're way better off.
And forget about it. In Twitter, I can take about 5 minutes before I just want to throw my phone across the room.
Yeah, again, after that, was it Brightburn or whatever the hell the stupid game is, and I got just literally, I got attacked verbally, and that I was a racist, homophobe, and I was like, why? And they're like, the guy's gay, the creator of the game was gay and black. I'm like, no idea. I had zero idea. But okay.
Oh, you talking about
I said to him,
that sword burn type guy that was on Twitter?
Yeah, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Yep. And I said, all I said was somebody made a negative. Somebody made a set of cards, like condition cards.
Yeah.
And one of which was, it was Black Friend, and it was like an advantage card that he had a black friend.
Yeah.
And I said, I go, well, you guys are talking about it. His publicity's working. I'm like, because now you're talking about it. And they're like, yeah, but that's negative. I'm like, right, but you guys are still talking about it. He still has publicity. People are still going to go check out his card, so he's doing something right.
Oh, yeah, people are going to outrage check it, and then they're going to tweet about it or post it on Facebook and outrage, and then people will buy it because of the simple fact of these assholes.
They called me a racist and a homophobe. I'm like, wait, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, how? Well, the owner and the creator of the game is a black gay male. Okay, I first of all had no idea, and also don't care because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you people getting outraged and putting this shit over.
There you go. You said you people right there, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I meant schmucks on Twitter, so my bad.
Yes, assholes on Twitter is more like it.
Yeah, you douchebags. So yeah, I quit after that. I was like, I'm done. You can all go fuck yourselves. You don't even deserve my opinion.
Exactly.
And you know how? Yeah, how much I love sharing my opinion with people.
Yes, I do know that. Yes, I've known you for quite some time now. I don't know if that's fortunate or unfortunate. So
you've lasted all this time.
Yeah, I mean, you even changed your number and gave me your new number. You're like, yeah, you're cool. I guess I'll give you my new number. I'm like thinking to myself, am I? There's a handful of people who I'm like, I gotta get. They asked me. I remember I was getting my new number. I went to the store and they were like, "Do you want a new number?" I'm like, "Do I want a new number? Yeah, I'll get a new number." And then I was like, I went through my phone. I went, I'm gonna give like 12 people my new number. I just got rid of everything. I just dumped everything. I just disappeared, man. I went ghost. I was just like, I'm out. Yeah, but you kept the important people in your life, like Mr. Heyman, correct?
Oh yeah, he is located right under. Actually, he's the 666th listing contact in my phone.
I have a feeling that it accidentally made its way there, not purposely, but you know.
I am 100% honest when I tell you no. No, it did not. Yeah, he's one of the people who is just kind of gone.
Yeah.
No need for that. I'll tell you what. That's one thing we've discussed and I've talked about with a bunch of people. In the current state of things, as far as even wrestling goes, it's amazing to not need any of these people in your life.
Yeah, and most of them really hang on to it too, and you just walked away.
The same applies to, real life and gaming and everything else. When you don't need these people anymore, and you realize that it's all kind of bullshit. It's all. The only reason you're keeping these people for social standing or social stability, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. It's just you're better off without them. And then when you free yourself from that, and I'm not trying to get all metaphysical and trippy on everybody, but when you free yourself from that and you just kind of step out and go, okay, well, don't need it. You're going to feel 100 times better and you get more creative. If you're a creative type, all that just opens up because now you're not worried about what they're going to think. You're worried about, is this good? Is this going to be awesome? And, that's how it's been working for me. So I'm okay with that. Like I said, and you're actually one of the people who I send the shit to. I'm like, hey, what do you think of this?
No, I mean, I can't do half the stuff that you do, so that's why half the time I'm just like, whoa, because what if I try to do something, it turns to just like looking like a piece of shit on the table. So, like the dog took a dump on the table. There's my mini.
Here you go, guys. Giant dump monster.
It's a
Guys,
shit
this is going to
demon.
represent. This is going to represent a bouillette. Vince, it kind of looks like the dog shit on the table.
How?
Oh, no, it did. It's supposed to.
Throw down an X card. That triggered me.
My dog has trouble pooping. That triggered me.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I think I've kept you long enough, Sal. It's been good
All right,
catching
man.
up.
Thank you. And anytime you want, man, I'm around. So just give me a holler.
Well, that's an open invitation to invite you on another podcast because, I take advantage of that fact. So
Do what you got to do, man.
I know you'll just not
All right,
answer.
buddy.
So
I've never not answered. So
nah, that's true. Well, I'm gonna head out of here. Don't forget to like
man.
the podcast. Oh, give me the URL for the Habib Network. Excuse me.
let's see. So it's Hameen Media Group. And then there's, let's see, twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horseman and twitch.tv/Horror Junkyard.
There you go.
Yeah, people can get us at the horror junkyard at protonmail.com. Conspiracy Horseman at, I think it's a Gmail. I think, I don't know. You know it.
Yeah.
You I was shit at plugs forever. Still shit at plugs. So
yes, I know.
Yeah, that's
Blogspot, tankerstavern.com, right? Okay.
there you go. So, all right, man. Thank you very much for having me, and anytime I'll talk to you.
Absolutely.